Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Talk with Oyinye. I'm your host Oyinye, and here we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, business professionals, authors, creators, and so much more. So to stay ahead of all of our upcoming interviews, just hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and that's what you have to do. So today we have a career coach, here with us, and she has supported about hundreds of clients by helping them achieve their career goals. Now, she's a military veteran, she's a certified career coach, of course, she's a certified REBT mindset life coach. She's the founder of Career Coach RX and Work Solution. So, our guest, Kristy, is here to share her journey and also talk about her latest journal. So without further ado, let's welcome Kristy Taylor. Yeah.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you for
Me
having me on.
too. Me too. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Yeah. So why did you decide to like go into being a career coach? What led you to become a career coach? And I mean from being a military veteran, like how how did it happen?
Well, this actually has been a 20-year journey for me. And
Hmm.
I know that a lot of people who come on your show, they are entrepreneurs. And so just sharing a little bit about that journey. It's been a growth journey for me. I actually started this about 20 years ago. I've always had an interest in coaching people, and they just have a great passion for education and helping people to achieve their career goals. So when I started out, it was just basic resume writing and supporting people, just kind of helping people along. It wasn't a real business entity. In 2016, though, I launched Healthcare Consulting, and I specifically was a career coach who worked with healthcare clients, nurses, doctors, other specialties. Because in the healthcare field, which is my general field as a health scientist, in the healthcare field, it's very easy to become overwhelmed, to get burnout. And so I was helping clients with a lot of that. My very first book, Ace the Medical Interview Preventive Code Blue, came out in 2019. Well, my first book related to career coaching specifically. But I was actually looking back on some things the other day, and my very first book that I published 10 years ago almost 10, 11 years ago was a kid's book. And even then I said, okay, I'm going to become a certified career coach. It was one of my goals, but I didn't officially launch my business until 2016. And when I did launch healthcare consulting, I was actually focused on working with healthcare providers. Um, did that for a few years, and then kind of went back into, what is the next step in growth. So in November of 2022, I relaunched Healthcare Consulting, but I launched it as Work Solutions. And I decided to not only to focus on healthcare professionals, but I'm expanding because my background is health science and health education. If you've ever dealt with health education before, it's really holistic care, holistic. So decided to combine my expertise with being able to support and expand career coaching to help people from diverse career fields. And what I provide is career coaching that specifically focuses on incorporating rational emotive behavior therapy principles, where I work with clients to overcome self-limiting beliefs, because that is where I get my greatest joy, is just seeing people realize their potential, remove any barriers, any mindset barriers, and seeing them achieve their career goals. So that is a great passion of mine, and that's just a little bit about my journey of how I got here today.
And how has it been so far?
It's really been great. I mean, I've had the opportunity. So the thing about holistic career coaching, what I do, it's not just, a client comes to me and I write their resume and cover letter and say, go be great. When a client comes to me, we sit down, we have an initial consultation. During that consultation, I'm really listening to kind of hear what are the underlying issues, because if a client is having a challenge with their job, or, they're frustrated, they're ready to move on, sometimes it's other outside issues that's impacting. So let's say you're having, your home life is out of balance. So even if we write your resume and you go do a job search, if your home life is still out of balance, even with the new job, you're going to still have the same level of frustrations, right? So I try to really work with clients to develop to incorporate self-care skills, to address any home life issues. To the extent, now coaching is not therapy. We focused on the here and now and how to move forward. I don't diagnose or treat, but I do work with clients on stress management, incorporating better balance into their life, and really pursuing a job that they're passionate about. And so when a client comes to me, I don't just write a resume. I don't just write a resume and a cover letter. With every client, I'm always going to provide some type of coaching, even if it's just the 15 to 20-minute free sessions that I provide for those who purchase the cover letter and resumes writing services, because I just want to make sure that they are on the right path to pursuing their career goals. So it's going great. A lot of times when clients come to me, again, we not only are addressing the issue, the challenges of trying to navigate the job search process or figure out what job they should be reaching towards based on their values and skills. We're also uncovering a lot of deeply rooted things that could impact job performance or just their everyday lives. So we work together to create goals and a plan to address those issues. It is holistic coaching at its best.
Yeah. So what is it like working with you? Like what's the journey of your client's
Okay.
passion?
So I'm going to give you an example of a client who may come in and we develop a coaching plan for 4 sessions. Okay, and I'll give you a little background on what that may be like. When the process starts with an initial intake call, that's about 15 minutes. That's just kind of the client is giving me an overview of what they are seeking, what their needs are, and we kind of work together, discuss, is this going to be a good fit for me as a coach and for them as a client. So once we determine whether or not it is a good fit, I take time and I put together a proposal for the client based on the notes that I put together from that initial intake session. So for example, if a client comes to me and they're saying, I'm stressed, I feel out of balance, there's no work-life balance, I also would like to look for a job that really pertains more to my career goals and what I'm actually passionate about, I'm going to be listening in that 15 minutes. When I put together the proposal, let's say um, uh, it is a 4 session coaching package. So we will have an initial 75-minute intake session, and that's where we really get to the root of what the client's challenges are. So that first session is that it goes beyond the initial consultation, it expands, allows the client to take a deep dive into some of the challenges that they're having. Prior to the client coming to that session, they have already taken a skills and values and job assessment type of quiz. So I'll get all that feedback and we'll go over it in that initial 75-minute consultation session, and we'll leave that session with a set of goals. Then the next session will usually, depending on where the client is going, when they'll not only leave that first session with a set of goals and some homework like journal prompts, etc. They'll also kind of have the idea of what is going to take place in the next session. The next session may focus specifically on addressing some of the challenges that they highlighted in the initial intake session, and then we'll start the process of talking about resume, revising their resume. Then the third session. So sometimes in between that second and third session, we may take maybe like 2 weeks because I want to give them an opportunity to actually revise their resume. The third session will focus on solidifying the resume revision, continuing to talk about some of the holistic goals that they set and the things that working through some of the activities to address some of the holistic health concerns that might be impacting job performance. The third session, when we get to that session, will usually be like we'll finish up their resume. Then between that session and the fourth session, again, we might do another week or 2 weeks where the client has an opportunity to actually apply for jobs. They're continuing to work the plan that we have in place. And then that fourth session will usually focus on some type of interview prep. In between those sessions, there is a follow-up emails from me. I'll do follow-up calls. And even after we do the last session, usually by that time the client has had their first interview. Once we do that last session, I'll follow up within 1 to 2 weeks to just make sure the clients continue to be on track. So that's an example of how we create a customized plan based on the client's needs, and we work that plan. So the sessions are not necessarily every week, but I do design sessions to fit the client's needs. And I serve as their accountability partner and their champion, and also as an expert consultant for them to go through the job search and resume writing process while continuing to address the other holistic areas that we've identified as part of their coaching plan.
Yeah. So are you the accountability partner or is there someone else?
I am their accountability partner and I'm their
Mm,
champion. So
yeah.
again, between the sessions, there's check-ins, whether it's email or I give them a quick call to kind of see how things are going. At any point between the sessions, if clients are feeling like they're experiencing a roadblock, they can give me a call. We'll talk it through.
Mm.
So
So what
through
are
that,
so
yeah,
go
through that
ahead.
whole process, it's not just okay, I'm meeting with the client for that paid hour. With the packages, there comes accountability support from me. So the client's not just paying to meet with me per se for 1 hour or however long their session is. There's a lot of work that goes on in between that process to help support them and keep them on track. Usually my clients, if we follow through, usually within about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, they're getting their first job interviews. So
Hmm.
I'll make sure that they're prepared for that.
Wow. Okay. So you were talking about a customized plan. Do you have the customized plan for everyone,
Yeah.
or is it tailored, or do you have separate packages and then a customized, package?
So with the resume writing process, it is standard. If you just purchase a resume writing process, then the resume writing package, you can get a resume writing, just a single resume cover letter, resume cover letter bio, resume cover letter bio with LinkedIn. All of those packages are standard in that they include 15 to 20 minutes of coaching. I never let a client leave my side without some type of interview prep coaching. Because again, the resume gets you the interview, but you have to know how to sell yourself to the employer to get the job. Now, when it comes to individual coaching packages, career transformation mindset packages, those are customized to the client. Because as I mentioned earlier, we're going to start with that free 15-minute discovery call. We're going to make sure that we're the right fit for each other. Based on that, I'll put together the proposal, and then we will come to the intake session, which is 75 minutes, and we'll go through that whole process of establishing goals. And at that point, I'm your accountability partner.
Yeah, I love that you have that whole discovery call, because some other people will just want you to go ahead and book and start paying, but then the discovery call will allow you know you to kind of know what you're working with, know the specific need of this client.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
the one thing that people should know about coaching is that you have to make sure that not only is as a coach, I try to make sure that the client is a good fit for me, but the client has to know that I'm a good fit for them. And so that is the importance of that discovery call, because the whole point of the coaching process is that the client has to feel comfortable enough with me as a coach to be able to kind of come in and let it all out. So although again, coaching is not therapy, those sessions can serve as therapeutic purposes for the client, because it's a space where the client knows that this is a trusting private relationship. Anything that they say in the coaching sessions will be kept in the coaching sessions. And so they have to feel comfortable with that. And so that's my job, to make them to help them to feel comfortable. And that's why we do that initial discovery call.
Yeah. So earlier you talked about LinkedIn and helping the person position themselves, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
helping them position themselves, right? So what would you like to tell everyone, or how important do you think having a strong personal brand is in the competitive
Oh,
market?
it's very important. I have clients that so let's take this for example. I'll just say, we one of my primary objectives as a coach is to help people overcome self-limiting beliefs. I'll have clients who will come to me and they'll say, Dr. Taylor, I feel like I haven't achieved enough or I haven't done enough, right? And then we will have a resume writing strategy session. Really, that session is to help them to market themselves for the job, right? But then once they look at themselves on paper, they're kind of like, oh my God, I didn't realize that I've done this much. So that strong resume is also now serving as a confidence booster. Your
Yeah.
LinkedIn profile is like a web page. So if you're familiar with developing web pages, that's a marketing site. Like my website, careercoachrx.com, is a marketing site. It is my personal brand. So it needs to match up with everything that represents me. So your LinkedIn, it needs to be keyword rich, right? It needs to get people's attention right away. It also validates the information that you have on your resume, because why? If I'm an employer and I'm interviewing you for a job, I'm going to go to your LinkedIn. The reason why it needs to mirror the information that's on your resume is because usually you are friends with, you're connected to people that you've worked with before. So it's a kind of a way of validating, right? You're getting
Mm,
endorsements from people. These are people who know you. They're seeing you put all of this stuff on LinkedIn. And so it has to be true. So, employers tend to go look at LinkedIn to see does it match up with your resume, because that is a way of validating that the information on your resume is true. It's also a way that this is your public marketing statement. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a LinkedIn page, I suggest that you get into the process of developing one, because that's like your own personal website or portfolio of work per se.
yeah, yeah. So thank you so much for saying that. So far working with all of the people who you worked with, like, what are the commonest challenges that you've seen that people, face when it comes to achieving their career goals?
Themselves. So,
Yeah.
one of the things I always keep, espousing is why I've now transitioned from just, typical career coaching to this. I've just
Yeah.
recently become a certified master mindset coach, is because it is ourselves. This is the way we think. It's the way that we process. This is the way we see ourselves. So, like I said earlier, sometimes clients, until they see what they've achieved on paper on that marketing document called the resume, they look at it and go, "Wow, I didn't even know that I've done all of this." Like I can't. I didn't think that I was this valuable, right? So it is helping clients to see themselves in their own potential, and to stop speaking negatively about themselves, because what you put into the atmosphere is what you tend to get, right? We reap what we sow. That is including what we say and put into this atmosphere, and to have a more positive mindset about their own future. And the other thing is that I tell clients right away, because I've made this mistake in my own career, is uh, it's great to seek titles. But one of the reasons why we do work with clients to do the career assessment and skills and values knowledge assessment prior to their intake session with me is because you may be seeking a title, and that's so great. Like, you may want to be president or CEO, whatever. You can seek those things, but what are the things that's really going to give you that sense of fulfillment? So I have worked with clients to do strategic job searches. Sometimes, if you come to me and you go, a client might come to me and go, I'm out of work. I got to find something right now. Fine, we can do that, but we're still going to work through the process of a strategic job search so that long term you can pursue what you want. And so if you're in the pursuit of a title, but you don't actually match that up with what is actually uh, in alignment with your skills, values, what's important to you. So, like, if I'm CEO of a company, and all of my time is going to be taken up being a CEO, but I still value family and workplace and work life balance, then I have to know that some of that will have to give. So I'm going to proactively, strategically seek a job or participate in do a job search to find the type of job that aligns with my values and skills, and even the title that I want. You not just pursue anything. So clients limit themselves, I think, because they don't recognize their own potential, and that's what I'm here for, to support them and help them through that process.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So, in other words, a lot of people go through, self doubt, like doubting themselves, limiting themselves, and but then you're here to help them. So, how is it like? Have you worked with clients who want to transition into something, and then they're at a point and they want to go into another, line career path? How is it like working with people like that?
Who are, let me just make sure I clarify your question. Working with clients who want to transition into a completely different career path?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Because what happens is, we are sold this ideology of, you graduate, go to high school, I mean, go to college, and you have to get a specific job title. Like, you must be a nurse, you must be a doctor. Like that's kind of how I grew up, right? You go get a good government job and you stay on this path. And then somewhere along the way, you realize, like, I did exactly what my parents wanted me to do, but I would rather be painting pictures or working in an art museum. And so sometimes clients will come to me with that ideology, and I say, hey, okay, that, we try to find a balance there, right? Because unless you can, I wanted them to be realistic, about what it is. So maybe it's not necessarily that they need to work in an art museum. They need an opportunity more so to be creative, right? So we look at their skills and values tests. We look at the experiences that they have, and we look at what is it that they really want to pursue. And we develop a plan to help them to, well, I develop a plan to help them to transition. But me and the client, we work through that plan in the way that best fits them. So even anything that I come up with and present to the client, everything is optional. It is the client's, it is the client's prerogative. It is based on what they want to pursue. But I present proposals to them, and get and guide them in the process. So yes, it happens because, and that is why I always stress to people, like, make sure that we're not pursuing if you're pursuing a specific title, that's in line with what you want to do, because we are naturally groomed that, oh, you must be an engineer, you must be, because you have to have this title because it pays well. Yes, Dr. Taylor wants you to continue to be paid well, but we live in a society now where you can be creative. You can take your skill set and be creative and merge it with some of the things that you're passionate about and that you enjoy doing, so that you can still make a great income and make a great living for yourself. And you don't have to be stuck in a situation. So sometimes it happens. Especially, I get a lot of nurses who are burnt out and they just want to pivot from healthcare completely. And so we look at their transitional skill set and we move them in a direction that they want to go.
Yeah. So I was just about to ask this question. I know you've said it a couple of times, but in one sentence, like what one advice do you have to people who want to transition
For
from
people who want to
experience?
transition,
Mm-hmm.
identify your strengths, your core skills, and align them with jobs that match your values. That's a simple sentence, but when I say skills, I mean, are you a great communicator? Are you tech savvy? Like, identify those core skills and use those skills as your transitional strengths for when applying for other positions. That if you're, especially if you're applying completely out of your career field. The other thing too is to create a narrative, like craft a story for yourself. Like, I am an engineer who, just craft a story for yourself or persona, so that it'll make it easier for you to sell yourself to potential employees if you're transitioning completely out of your career field.
Yeah. So right now you're working on your journal. Can you tell us a little bit more about the journal you're working in? I mean, it's talking
Yeah,
about.
I am so excited. So, I have launched a 3 series journal, and this is just 3 series journal set that focuses on career mindset transition. There is my prayer works journal. That journal is a 30-day journal, that really is about resetting our mind in alignment with prayer and the universe. There's Bible scriptures aligned with each one of the prompts, and it really takes you on a 30-day transformation for recognizing your potential and realigning yourself with to pursue your goals and dreams. The next one is the Career Mindset Transformation Journal for Women. That was the second book in the series, and that is a 40-day journal where, again, we're focusing on uh, renewing your mindset, recognizing your potential, overcoming limiting beliefs, which is a rational emotive behavior therapy principle. Both journals have, all of these journals will have some type of rational emotive behavior therapy principle incorporated, and recognizing your potential and creating a plan to succeed. The last journal series will be out next week. It is my 90-day career mindset transformational personal professional development journal. Though that journal again will serve as a course. So when I do workshops and different events, I'll have that journal available as a sort of a workbook, right? But that journal takes everything that I espouse, from positive psychology to rational emotive behavior therapy. And if you use any of these journals, you have an opportunity to work through the process of really questioning the root cause of some of your thoughts, how you respond to things, you're measuring your level of emotional intelligence, identifying your true career goals, your values, your purpose, and just realigning yourself. So everything is about career mindset transformation to get you on a positive journey of self-reflection and career growth. And I really look forward to releasing the last journal in that series. Later on this year, I do plan to use those three journals as the basis for a workshop series in partnerships with nonprofits and churches. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, that's so great. Kudos to you.
Yeah, I'm really excited
Yeah.
about it. I mean, again, the
So,
whole goal with this process is to help people to identify any negative thoughts that they have that might be hindering them from reaching their potential, because we all have God-given potential, right? And we just need to tap into that.
yeah. So people who want to get a hold of this journal, how do they get to you?
Okay, so the journals are available on Amazon.com. All you have to do is go there and type Dr. Kristy K. Taylor.
Yeah,
Also, they will be the link to my Amazon author page will be on available on my website later today.
yeah. You can also give it to me so that I can put it in the description.
Okay. And I also just
Yeah.
want to add to this is that every day we come out with content. So if you are really interested in fostering a positive mindset, overcoming limiting beliefs, every day. Right now, we're publishing content on the blog with resume writing tips, strategies
Mm.
for managing your holistic wellness and having a positive mindset in the workplace. So you can just simply log on to careercoachrx.com/blog. There's a lot of great information available.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So right now, I know that there are a lot of people out there who are struggling to find their passion or their direction. I mean, yeah, there are people who know what they want to do, who know that they want to transition, who know that it's time for them to transition into something better, something bigger, something else. But then there are some other people out there who are struggling. They don't know where, what to do, and yet, they're not feeling fulfilled where they currently are. So what's one advice would you like to give them?
Besides scheduling an appointment with Dr. Kristy Taylor, the one
Yeah.
piece of advice that I definitely want to give is,
Yeah.
find some type of career assessment. And even if you don't take a full career assessment, sit down and really just journal. Like writing your challenges down, writing your thoughts down, and taking time to journal and really reflect on one, what is it that is frustrating me about my current situation? What do I
Mm,
feel like are my strengths and what do I feel like are my weaknesses in terms of my job skill set, and what are the things that I really value, and if I could work any place, what would be my ideal work environment? Okay, so answering those questions and really identifying your strengths, skills, and values, journaling it out, and then kind of mapping out, like visualizing your ideal work environment. So if your ideal work environment is working from home, then picture
yeah.
yourself doing that, and then develop a strategy for yourself to proactively pursue opportunities to work from home. And if that means creating your own business and building, then do that, and recognize it'll take time if you started from scratch, but over time, hard work does pay off. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really needed that, and I'm sure there are a lot of people there who really need to hear that. So there's this question I like to ask my guests, before the end, especially people like you I mean, you've gone to some extent, you've seen things, you've experienced things, especially when it comes to career and professional and personal growth, right? So what
mhm.
one advice would you give to yourself, your 18-year-old self, you know, at this point, if you look back to your 18-year-old self, yeah,
I
what's
would
one advice would you
say, oh, girl, be quiet and sit down somewhere and listen and watch the people.
give?
18 and 19, we think we know everything, right? But
Yeah.
really pay attention to the people who are being active. And there's a book that I read. I think it's Forget a Sponsor, Forget a Mentor, Get a Sponsor.
Mhm.
Really identify people who are not just going to mentor you, but who are going to champion you, right? The movers and the shakers
Mm.
in the areas that you want to be in, and connect yourself to those individuals. But slow down a little bit and pay attention, right? And learn from the people who have been successful. Um, and create your own path. Don't necessarily chart your path based on theirs, but you can use it as a model, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so
You're welcome. This is
much. I really
great.
love that.
Really
Thank you
enjoyed it.
so much for being here with us today. Like, I really enjoyed every bit of this. I mean, from everything you said to all of the wonderful advices you really gave. So, guys, you can get in touch with her. And the best thing about what you really do that I like is that it's, as you said, a holistic approach to career growth, right? So it's not just about doing resumes and cover letters and all, but then I mean, being the accountability partner, a lot of people lack that when it comes to, because probably some of them, I mean, you have friends who are good, but they're not just qualified enough to give you the type of guidance that you need. And I like that you're really you know doing that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kristy.
And thank you for having me. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed
So
it.
yeah. So thank you so much, and that's it, guys. Be with us. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. And you have a great day.
Yeah, you too.